Hi guys! So today I'm going to be filming the video that you guys had requested on Facebook. It's on product fails. This video is going to be all about products that I've tried over the last few months, probably over the course of 6 months I'd say, that I gave it a go and I did not like them for some reason, and I'll tell you the reasons why I ended up not liking these products. But these are products that I'm not saying that I have anything against the brand. I love all the brands that I'm going to mention here. A lot of them are brands that I use all the time. It's just these particular products that the brands made just don't work for me, and they might work for you. I'll tell you who I think that they would work for, but they just didn't work for me, and I just didn't like them, and I think that some of the things that they were making promises, it didn't really fulfill. So this is the video that you guys requested. I think it's a good video so that if you, as a consumer, are going out shopping, these are products that you might want to avoid and maybe save your money on and buy something else. If you're interested in seeing this video, please continue to watch and hit the subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up. And yeah, so let's get started. So I'm going to kind of go in the order, I always kind of do this, but I'm going to go in the order that you would to put your makeup on. So I'm going to start off with a primer. So one of my favorite brands is e.l.f. and this is a brand that you can find at Target, you can find it at Walmart. Actually, I think CVS now is carrying it. So it's a really, really inexpensive drugstore brand. And most of their products are anything between, or anywhere between $3 and maybe $6. So my first product fail is this primer right here. It is e.l.f.'s Hydrating Face Primer. It claims that it fills in fine lines and moisturizes with vitamins A, C, and E. So I probably paid like I think it was probably like $3. I absolutely did not like this primer at all. It's very silicone-y based. It feels very just kind of slick when you put it on. I didn't find that it filled in my lines or my pores or made my skin look any smoother. And I felt that my makeup just sat on top of it and just kind of sat there. And I don't like any primers that don't really soak into the skin. I like primers that kind of soak into the skin. You don't feel that it's there, and the makeup that you put goes on smoothly over top of it. This I just felt like made a film on my skin and kind of felt greasy and silicone-y, and then I put my makeup on top of it and I didn't feel like it smoothed anything out, and I don't feel that it made my makeup stay longer. And my big thing when I'm looking for a primer personally, things that I look for in a primer is it's going to fill in my pores, it's going to smooth out fine lines and wrinkles, it's going to feel very natural. I'm not going to really feel it on my skin, and my makeup is going to last longer with it on. So the reason why this was a product fail for me is because it didn't do any of those things. It just kind of sat on my skin and it never soaked in, and my makeup didn't go nicely over it, and it just felt extremely, extremely greasy. So maybe if you are a really dry skinned girl or man, you would maybe like this, but I don't think so. I just don't think I think it's a complete fail. I don't know that I would suggest it to anyone, just because I just don't think it sits nice on the skin. So that is product fail number 1. Continuing forth with face. This is a foundation that I tried so many times. I tried this foundation because I was like, no, everyone loves this foundation. This foundation gets all raves, and I can't. I don't like it. I tried, it broke me out. There's a long list of reasons, but it is the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation, the original. Not the matte and poreless, but the original. So the thing behind this is that this is supposed to make your skin look very luminous and dewy, and it's supposed to just fit your skin and blend in and just look so natural. I, one, don't think that it looked natural at all. 2, it made me greasy. It literally, instead of a luminous, dewy effect, it made my skin look greasy. It literally looked like I went out and went for a run and came back in and had been sweating. And that's kind of what I felt like this made my skin look like. And it oxidized. So for you who don't know what oxidizing means, it means when the foundation hits your skin, whatever color it is in the bottle, or when it hits your skin, it's a color, and then once it sits on your skin, it changes its color and it actually becomes darker or more orange tinted. That's called oxidation. And that happens with this foundation. So it was a perfect match when I put it initially on my skin, in the bottle, everything. I tested it out, it matched me perfect. After being on my skin for 5 to 10 minutes, it oxidized. So all of a sudden it was much, much darker. I looked like I had a really bad tan going on because it didn't blend very well. And it almost, oxidizing also causes a little bit of like sometimes a warmy orange tint. So it almost looked like I was more orange. So that was another reason why I didn't like it. Third reason I didn't like it is it broke me out. I don't know, it has SPF in it, but a lot of foundations have SPF in it, but it broke me out. I got really bad breakout with it. So if you are extremely dry, you might really like this. This might be better for you, but I don't suggest this foundation really at all. I really like the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I love that foundation. I recommend it over this. So if you're contemplating getting this, I would say skip this foundation, go for the Matte and Poreless. All right, going on to the next product. This is another product that everyone raved about on YouTube that I saw very good reviews on. And so a lot of these things are things that I go out and I buy because I see other people suggest them, or I happen to be walking by in the store and I see it and I say, oh, I'll give that a try. That seems like something new and interesting. Some of this stuff was recommended. Some of this stuff is stuff that I just tried on my own. The Fit Me foundation was raved about this when this came out. Everyone said it was great. Same thing with this. This is the Rimmel BB Cream Beauty Balm 9-in-1 Skin Perfecting Super Makeup with SPF 25. So the claims of this are, this Skin Perfecting Super Makeup is 9-in-1 with results that primes, moisturizes, helps minimize the appearance of pores, conceals, covers, smooths, mattifies, brightens, and helps protect and make your makeup last all day long. Whew! That is a lot of claims. It claims to do all of those things. I do think it does some of them. I do find it mattifying, that I would agree with. I do find it, yeah, that's about it. I find that it mattifies. BB creams, also, for those of you who don't know, BB creams are supposed to, usually they're something that you can put on instead of putting on moisturizer, and it's supposed to conceal your skin and make your skin have a little bit of coverage, but it's usually sheer coverage, and it's supposed to usually moisturize your skin and enhance your skin in some way without the feeling in the full coverage of foundation. So I bought this because I was like, oh, on days that I don't really feel like putting on foundation, but I want a little bit of coverage, this would be great. So actually, this is extremely thick. Comes in a squeeze tube. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out on my hand, but first of all, look how thick that is. It's like literally a mousse. Don't know if you guys are able. So BB creams are usually supposed to be like moisturizers. They're supposed to feel like moisturizers. So that's my number one complaint about this, is that it's super, super thick. Like thick, thick, thick. So when you put it on your skin, it doesn't feel like a moisturizer. It feels like a really heavy foundation. So that was my first complaint. My second complaint is that I didn't find it hydrating. Like I said, I didn't feel like it was like a moisturizer. My third complaint is that I felt that it didn't conceal barely anything. I felt like you could see all my blemishes underneath it. I feel like you could see the actual product on my skin. It didn't like blend in and soak in like a more natural foundation or a BB cream should. It literally, like, you could see it. It caked up a lot on my skin. You could tell it was there. And that defeats the purpose of this. This is supposed to be very natural, very thin, very sheer coverage. So, and lasts all day. I felt that it didn't wear very well. By the end of, like I said, I work long shifts. So by the end of the day, I felt like it had rubbed off. It was splotchy. So I don't know. I think this was so promising, I thought, because it was like, oh wow, 9-in-1. It does everything. I mean, it literally claims to do everything. This is supposed, like I said, to take the place of a moisturizer. So you're supposed to be able to hop out of the shower, throw this on your face, your skin's supposed to be amazing looking, and it's supposed to take the place of moisturizing, priming, all of that. It's supposed to do everything for you in this one little tube. And so I was like, oh yay, this is gonna be so convenient for me. And it isn't. It's not very good. Oh, and it oxidizes. That was the other thing I wanted to say. It oxidized. So the color, I got it in light, which is actually the lightest. I think it doesn't come in I think I got the lightest shade actually, and it oxidized and ended up being too dark. So that was another reason why I didn't like it. So I got this blush called, or by the brand Dalton, and it's a Hydra Gel Cream Blush in the color Flirt, and it's this really pretty, like, I don't know, pinky coral color. But my problem with this, and the reason why this is a complete fail, is because with I'm not a huge, let me fix this bun action going on. When it comes to cream products, I'm not a huge fan of cream products to begin with. Cream blushes, cream bronzers, cream, I'm trying to think, cream highlighters. I'm not really a huge fan of cream products because they tend to be a little harder to blend and they just don't they just don't tend to blend as easily into the skin, and I don't really like an extremely dewy look, and all cream products are usually to make your skin look more dewy, and I'm not really into hugely dewy makeup. But my complaint with this is that it's not very creamy. Like, it's like kind of dry it's supposed to be cream. It's extremely sticky. So you rub your finger in, you're supposed to like pat this on but I feel like it's just really, really sticky. And I just feel like it would be like you putting lip gloss on your cheek and then trying to rub that out and see how that feels. So this is what it looks like when it's swatched, which it actually swatches pretty well. I mean, it's a really pretty color, but I also don't find, see, I'm trying to blend it out. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't blend very easily. I don't know if you can kind of see, but it doesn't blend very easily. It doesn't blend smooth. It's kind of splotchy. Like I said, it feels sticky. And then when you're actually rubbing your finger into it, it actually feels kind of more on the dry, sticky. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's a little dry, but it's sticky. So I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but I did not like this product. This is a fail for me because I don't like anything on my skin that feels extremely sticky, and I didn't feel like it blended out very well. I know there's cream blushes out there that everyone loves that are awesome. This by Dalton, I would not recommend it. And I don't know what this retails for, but Dalton is not an extremely expensive brand, but it's not a cheap brand either. And I would pass on this. So this is Physicians Formula Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in Translucent Pearls. So I bought this because it's, this was also a recommendation by another YouTuber that I don't understand why, but you know, to each his own, everyone likes their own stuff. But I got this because it's very difficult to find a highlighter that is a drugstore brand that's really reasonable, that's really good quality. And so I was like, oh, Physicians Formula. I love Physicians Formula, which I do. I love them. I've actually been using Physicians Formula since I was in my teens. Like, It was one of my first makeup brands that I ever purchased because it's made by dermatologists. It's supposed to be good for your skin, more all natural ingredients, etc., etc. So that's why I really like Physicians Formula. It's always good for contact users. Anyways, so I was really excited. It's like, oh, a drugstore highlighter. This is awful. This is just, first of all, let me rub. I like really have to rub, but let me. So it's on my finger. I really rubbed. I don't know. Yeah, it shows up. It looks better swatched than it does on the cheeks. I'm not gonna lie. So that swatch right there actually looks decent. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my viewfinder instead of forward because I'm looking this way. But it actually looks pretty, doesn't it? Except it doesn't look like that when you put it on your cheeks. So it swatches really pretty, but when you put it on your cheek, it barely shows up. I barely can tell I have anything on. I have to really, really keep putting it on to see that anything is showing up. And then it's extremely powdery. So then you just start to look powdery because you're trying to build up the shine and make your cheeks highlight and glow, but it's extremely powdery. So I didn't like this. I was really disappointed because it kind of comes off chalky when you put it on your cheek. It barely shows up, and I just, yeah, that's why I was disappointed in it. It swatches really pretty though. Really pretty. I was really disappointed because when I swatched it when I got home, I was like, oh, this is going to be so beautiful. I've tried wearing this a gazillion times. And you can see that the pearls are really worn down in the pan because literally I've taken my brush and just been like, come on, rub, 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 trying to get it to show up. And I've used a lot of the product to just trying to get the product to show up on my skin. So complete fail. I would not suggest this. This is the Physicians Formula Mineral Glow Pearls. Next, we're going to move on to the eyes. Now, I am not a huge, I really have this issue. I want to just, this is a disclaimer right from the get-go because I'm not very good with gel eyeliners. It's not my preference. I don't gravitate towards gel eyeliners. They take a lot of like really good skill and good technique and a really steady hand to be able to use gel eyeliners to get really nice lines. So with that being said, I tried to buy two brands that were extremely economical to practice with and to give it a go, to dip my toes in gel eyeliner. So this is another e.l.f. product. This is e.l.f.'s cream eyeliner. They call it cream eyeliner, but cream gel, it's the same thing basically. And it comes in a little container like this, and this once again I think was like $2 or $3. And it comes in a little pot like this. This is the brown one. You can see I've dipped into it a little bit, but I tried the black one a lot more. And the whole thing is you're supposed to take your brush and you're supposed to dip it in and then you're supposed to put your eyeliner on. My problem with these are that they are extremely creamy, so creamy to the point where they smudge. So I feel like gel eyeliner, it's like, you gotta have it creamy so that you can, you know, get a nice brush stroke and get it smoothly on, but you don't want it so creamy that it's like moving all over the place and it's smudgy. And my problem with this was that I felt that it was so creamy that it smudged a lot and then it didn't really dry down. So you want your eyeliner to dry down so that it doesn't move, like it doesn't transfer. This transfers, so even though I had it on my line and everything, I go to close my eye, open my eye, whatever, all of a sudden my eyeliner is transferring all over my eye. It never really dries down to the point where it's not going to transfer. It just transfers and gets all messy and smudges. And so my big problem with this is especially for someone who is learning and trying to dabble in gel eyeliner, you want something that is not going to smudge and transfer and get all over the place. This was extremely just too creamy to the point where I felt like it never dried, and you don't want your eyeliner to smudge and move. Like you don't want to end up with raccoon eyes and eyeliner all over your eyelid. So My biggest problem with that was that that's what happened, and I have both the black and brown versions, so I would not suggest these as gel eyeliners if you are going to try gel eyeliners. There's other gel eyeliners that I have heard really great things about, but the e.l.f. brand, unfortunately, I wouldn't try these. Speaking of gel eyeliners, I have another brand that I tried because like I said, I was trying to kind of dabble in and see different varieties and stuff, so I actually bought Ulta's brand, and this is really worn because I've had this for a really long time. But this is Ulta's gel eyeliner in black. And again, it comes in a little pot like that. So this is the same problem that I had with the e.l.f. Actually, this one's better. I would say it's less severe. But it smudges and it transfers and it never dries down completely. And lastly, speaking of eyeliners, I have a brush. I bought this brush by Real Techniques. This is the tiniest little brush. I don't even know if you can. So this is Real Techniques, which I absolutely love this brand. I have lots of their face brushes, and I use their setting brush every single day. Silicone liner brush is what it's called. Now I got this because if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's got like a really pointy tip and it's like a silicone. It's not like a brush, so I thought it might like make a little slicker line, I guess. But it just like doesn't work. Like it doesn't flex really well, and I felt like it just didn't make like a very smooth line. And why I got it was because I thought it would make gel eyeliner easier versus just a regular eyeliner brush, but I actually found that it made it harder and just more difficult to make a fine line. So I did not like this brush. This brush is a fail. I would suggest just getting a regular eyeliner brush that just has the thin bristles at the end and trying that if you're going to try eyeliner. I wouldn't suggest this brush. So that is that. So you guys, that is all the products that I have. I know it wasn't a ton, but I don't, it's not like I'm going out buying makeup every day, although to some of my friends, I'm sure it seems that way. But, I buy things over the course of months to try them out when I'm at the store, whatever I find, or if something is suggested, I see it on YouTube. I watch a ton of YouTube videos myself, so I'm always looking for suggestions, and I'm really about affordable makeup. I do have high-end makeup, but I gravitate towards drugstore because that's what I can afford, and that's the budget that I live on. So all these products are pretty much drugstore products versus this Doll 10, which is actually not. I think it's an online brand, but these are all things from the drugstore that I've tried that didn't work out for me. Like I said, everyone's different. Some of these may work out for you. Maybe some of these you own and you love, but I don't. These did not work out for me. These are complete fails. And yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love all of you, and I will see you soon. Bye.